I'm upset, so I will get right to the point. My husband and I both make well over 6 figures. But we work long hours, and as a result, when we are not working or at the gym working out, we just want to veg out. So, when not working, will generally make breakfast but order out lunch and dinner or go out to eat. If we are working, we eat out all 3 meals. Our loans are paid off, we own our condo, and we have no children. So, eating/ordering out makes us happy. We also have a cleaning lady come twice a week to clean out home and do our laundry. Our parents came to visit and were upset that we didn't cook for them the whole week except for breakfast. We took the week off because we both knew both sets of parents were coming. We told them we don't cook except for breakfast, but our condo is right next door to a plaza that has a grocery, and they are welcome to cook if they like. But there were quite a few restaurants that we have yet to take them to, so why not try one of them? They got on us on how much money we were spending, and my mill got on me when the cleaning lady came and said I should be doing the cleaning. She worked and cleaned and took care of kids, so she doesn't get why I can't. Which pissed me off, so I went off and told her because I'm not Superwoman, have no desire to be, and refuse to try, and if she wants a participation trophy for being overworked and underpaid, she can head to the bar and have a shot of Jameson. I then told her and my parents that I did not spend 4 years in college and 2 in graduate school to play Florence from the Jeffersons. It's an 80s show that my parents love to watch. So, they went on to complain about how much money we were wasting. My husband told them that it is not their money, it's ours, and we don't consider it a waste. We told them the last thing we want to do when we get off from work is cook and clean. My husband told his mom that he never understood why she would work herself to the bone like that. Even when he and his sisters tried to pitch in and help, she insisted on doing everything herself. I told her I will not be doing that. So, they went on about an emergency fund. We told them before we started living the way we do, we made sure our student loans were paid off and we each have a year's salary saved up plus investments, so we are good, thank you. My dad tried to be intrusive and ask how much money we both made, and we said, none of your business. At the same time, which made us both laugh, but they were not laughing. They didn't like our reaction and felt we were wasting money. We told them if they have a problem with our lifestyle, they could all leave. So, they Ubered to a hotel. We really didn't want them to leave, just to drop the subject. So, are we idiots for telling them they could leave? Update: I've texted both sets of parents and told them I'm sorry for what I said and want them to come back, as I never wanted them to leave. That I know what I said about them leaving was out of line, I just wanted to drop the subject, but my way about it was wrong. I told them whether they decide to come back, I would like to reimburse them for the hotel rooms. Second update: yeah, we just met up at a restaurant near the hotel. They didn't want to eat, so we sat at the bar and talked. We told them that our finances are our business, and though we told them that if they didn't like it, they could leave, we were not literal when we said it. We just wanted to drop the subject. They continued that we are wasting money. We told them it is our money to waste, and just because they consider it wasting money, we don't. We consider it one of the perks of our very fortunate life, and it was not going to change. We told them that we appreciate their concern, but we know what we are doing, that they don't have to agree with it, but it is not up for discussion or debate. We told them we would love to have them back and to enjoy the rest of the week with them, but any comments or conversation about how we spend our money will not be allowed. They agreed, and we are taking them to a restaurant a little off the beaten path that we know they all will love. No, they didn't apologize, but we didn't expect them to. Comment 1. NTA, but if you want to avoid hurt feelings going forward, it sounds like you really do, then learn some grey rocking strategies, and make a habit of those being your go-to. I guess, since you're trying to make peace and make amends, it would be counterproductive to point out to them that choosing a hotel when given the option of that or dropping the damned subject was completely lacking in any financial foresight and a waste of money. Comment 2. NTA. What you said wasn't out of line, it was you almost properly setting a boundary with consequences. Next time be even more direct. If you won't discontinue conversations about our finances, we will ask you to leave. You have nothing to apologize for. They are guests in your home, and if you don't want to be harangued about your finances, you don't have to be. Comment 3. My own parents could never understand the concept of quality of life. I watched them work themselves to the bone and still feel like failures because they weren't working 24/7. Trying to explain that I work to live and not live to work was like speaking Danish to English speakers. They had no common vocabulary to go on. Seems to me that you and your husband have taken care of the essential things like good grown-ups. They should be proud that they helped create such responsible adults. I 28M have been married to my wife F30 for 2 years now, together for 5. We were going to start trying for a baby but that got put on hold and might not happen anymore. My wife and I both work and we make about the same amount and work about the same amount of hours. My wife and I originally had a chore system set up where we just rock paper scissor at the calendar for our days off. We got a pretty fair cut, I want to say, but she did get more dishes days. I got more if not all the laundry. My wife hates washing dishes. She hates it with such a passion that she sometimes just shuts down and cries when she sees them in the sink. Before, when I caught her crying, I immediately went to help her, switch chores for the day, calm her down, and then it was fine. But because I was doing this, I noticed that she was crying on purpose, so I washed the dishes. I knew she was faking it because the second I took over, her tears stopped and she'd go do something fun that she liked without a care in the world, laughing and smiling. No wind down like before. Because of this, we changed our dishes to whoever makes the dish washes it, like children, with the exception of cooking. Whoever cooked doesn't have to wash the pots and pans because they put all the work in for dinner. This was also her suggestion, which I was more than okay with. This was working out for a little while until I noticed that my wife made a lot more dishes than me and just didn't want to wash them. I asked her when she planned on washing dishes after I made dinner at her request, and she blew up on me, telling me to quite literally duck off. I did as she said but left the dishes. The next day she asked me why the dishes weren't done, and I told her because she didn't do them. This started a fight and I washed them, but I was unhappy. I do most if not all of the laundry because she just won't anymore, and I refuse to wear dirty clothes. The only thing she has to do with the laundry is put it in the basket. That's it. We have a basket for darks, colors and whites. She insists on her own basket for underwear and whatnot, so that's its own thing, and I hand wash it. She's been not putting her clothes in the basket. At first I picked up all of her clothes and washed them because it was no big deal, but when I watched her take her clothes off and just leave them on the floor because I always pick it up, I chose to leave her clothes there. She asked me why her clothes weren't done. I said because she didn't put them away, and she blew up on me. Same story. Recently this all came to a head with all the fighting. My wife has been getting lazier and lazier to push back because of our fights, and at first I was doing all of her chores on top of working, but I had a little moment of why am I even doing this? And just stopped. The dishes piled, her clothes were dirty, crumbs were everywhere on her days. On my days everything was spick and span. She decided that she's going to just start buying more dishes and clothes to combat not doing her part. I cannot tell you how frustrated this made me. She was buying plastic spoons and forks, paper plates, Walmart t-shirts and whatever other cheap alternative to the nice ones she has at home. I just decided to start tossing them. When she noticed that I was tossing her cheap alternatives, she blew up at me again, and for the first time since we've been together I raised my voice. My voice is deep and I'm a big man, so this scared her, which I regretted. I immediately lowered my tone and told her that she just isn't doing her part and that she's wasting money buying useless things when all she has to do is just clean up after herself and put clothes in a basket. She cried, and despite how many times I apologized, she told me that she doesn't feel safe with me and that maybe we're better off divorcing. This shattered me. She's been cold with me, sleeping on the couch and playing domestic violence signs videos out loud. It's such a low blow. The videos usually talk about yelling, throwing away items, control, emotional abuse, and signs that they're going to get physical. I don't think I'm wrong for what I did, but this is really wearing me down, and I've been getting some texts here and there from our families calling me an asshole, an abuser for throwing away her things and yelling at her, and that she needs to divorce me. The yelling was an accident. No one has wanted to hear what fully happened, and it's making me feel alone and a bit crazy. My friends are either staying out of it or are on her side if they're women. I've been losing friends. I feel like the a-hole now. All I wanted was for her to clean up after herself. I'd never hurt her and I've never yelled at her before, which I do regret. I didn't mean to scare her, I was just beyond frustrated because this has been building for months. I get that it was probably immature to throw away the disposables and that I should have just cleaned up after her, but I was just frustrated. Comment 1. It's not too soon to admit that she's not the best partner for you. If what you write is completely accurate, then it's you who is in an abusive relationship and you should exit. Comment 2. Lord, just divorce her. She sounds like a 12-year-old. Now she's playing domestic violence victim because you yelled once? Get out of there and find an adult to share your life with. Comment 3. Dude, your wife is manipulating you. I say this as a woman, I'm surprised you didn't crack sooner. This would have driven me up a wall. Agree to the divorce. In fact, file now, and TBH, I would be careful around her. I wouldn't be surprised if she does take this further. Don't be alone with her. My husband and I are doing okay financially. We make enough to not worry about rent and necessities. We are saving a decent amount and have scope for growth in our careers. I make a little more than 1/3 of our combined income. We are both in our late 30s and we have 2 6-year-old boys. I have never liked my husband's family, most of them anyways, because they have a lot of old-fashioned opinions and don't really approve of me. We don't have a lot of contact, so it's okay though. My husband's cousin's wedding is this week and they are getting married in our city, so he offered for his parents and aunt and uncle to stay with us. Bride and groom are renting a place. It is a bit of squeeze, but it is working. They have been here for 2 days now, and on the first day I heard them having a whole discussion on how it's so sad that our children won't get to have a proper childhood with a mom at home, like my husband and his cousin got. While they were in the living room and I was in the kitchen and they knew I could hear. I was stewing, but I don't really like confrontation, so I didn't say anything. Later I asked my husband if he could please tell them to shut up with the snide comments about me. He said that's just their opinion and it's not really hurting me. If I'm bothered, I should learn to stick up for myself, and that he can't always do it for me. This sort of struck a nerve because it's true that I usually ask him to do small things like telling the drive-through person if our order is wrong, because it just makes me feel weird and guilty. But somehow it feels like more his responsibility because it's his family involved here. Anyway, so today my Phil made one more pointed comment during dinner and I said, your son makes 30. We live in a big city and rent is 30. We literally cannot live on his salary, so I don't know why you think I should be home all day. They were pretty quiet after that. Now my husband is really angry with me because I put him down in front of his family, who are all richer than us, and will look down on him. Comment 1. NTA, your husband wants you to stand up for yourself and you did. You are not staying at home in part because their son does not earn enough for you to stay at home. It's telling that your husband did not mind when you were being put down, but is now angry because his family will look down on him. Like, I wonder how he justifies the double standard. Comment 2. NTA, you didn't put him down, you literally just stated facts and pointed out the obvious. Screw them for trying to make you feel bad, and screw her husband for not standing up for you against his family. I agree with you that maybe in other situations you maybe need to stand up for yourself more, drive-through orders, but you're right, it's his family, he standing up for you. Comment 3. NTA. Your husband should have stood up to them a long time ago, and he told you to go ahead and do that. This is his family and they have no business in your personal life like that, and your husband should have drawn that boundary a long time ago, because it's not just you they are criticizing, it's him as well. Honestly, people can only push too far and you had it. I probably would have done the same thing as you. I recently learnt that my ex-BF passed away of cancer in March. His mom called me last week to inform me of his passing and to inform me that myself and her are listed as beneficiaries on his life insurance from his employer. She instantly tells me that she doesn't know why he never changed it, but I can decline or sign the check over to her once I receive it. Instantly I am in shock. He's gone. And he left me on there. Why? I went back and forth wondering if this was on purpose or accidental. It had been years, approximately 6, since we mutually civilly split up. I was informed he had a new GF that lived with him, and she has 2 kids from a previous relationship that threw a wrench into things more. Is there a reason she never got put on it? Was this all just a big mistake? Today it has been 1 week and this has been very hard, especially since his mom has been terrorizing me all week trying to get me to agree to give her this money. She has said the most hurtful things, and has sent me the most disrespectful photos and video of her son in his last moments. As of right now I haven't even gotten in touch with the insurance company. I have no idea how much this is or if I need a lawyer's help at this point. Well, today is the day I woke up knowing 100% I am keeping this money, and I am not going to feel bad at all for helping my family with a gift my ex left for me. Unfortunately, part of me still wonders if it's the right thing to do by my ex. And if these were his wishes in the end. A little info to add: my home burnt to the ground 3 years ago, July 20th, and October 1st, 2 years ago my mom passed from cancer as well. It has been a long, hard few years, and this money would literally buy myself a new bra for the first time in 3 years. My little clan could really use this money, and I think my ex knew that. Comment 1. YTA. I'm shocked by all the NTA responses. Legally you may be entitled to this money, but I have a very hard time believing anyone would leave their ex of 6 years ago on their life insurance on purpose when they have a family and a partner with kids. You're a huge a-hole for keeping it. I don't know how you're managing to justify this to yourself. Comment 2. YTA. You rarely get promoted with work insurance to update details, and most of us just forget we even nominated someone in the first place. You haven't spoken to him, there's no hidden meaning in him leaving it to you, it's clearly an oversight. You say you're guilt-free, you aren't, because you asked the question here, presumably to assuage your conscience. Sorry, but the very fact that you are asking means you know you're wrong and that it's not what was intended. I may be in a minority, time will tell, but you know in your heart that it's wrong. You want the validation of strangers, and I would personally try to do what your own conscience is telling you. If you genuinely believe it's okay, and only you know him here, then that's up to you. We both know you don't though. Comment 3. YTA. You've been in no contact for the last 6 years, you didn't even know he has cancer. He has a new life, without you, and it is obvious to any sane person that he simply forgot. Legally you are probably entitled to get that money, but morally you are a greedy a-hole using an unexpected opportunity. Not everything what is legal is right.